Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast. With me, Matt. We got another Eastern Front battle with you all, on a winter map no less. Let's go through the players, shall we? On the Waffen-SS side, we have Professor as Volksturm. I seem to get a lot of Volksturm recently, but this time starting out with Storm Grenadiers. On the Soviet side, we have Eugen. Wait, did I say, remember to say the name? Yeah, I said Professor. Yeah, okay. Eugen is the Soviet player, and he's not picked the commander yet, but he's starting out with conscripts, as is very traditional. This map is called Falling Thunder, I believe, and it was linked to me so I could watch it, which is nice. I've heard this one has a lot of comebacks in it, so I'll be excited to see that. It's a very frozen map by the looks of it. That's going to be a very fascinating area to fight over. We have some Volksturm coming in to support the dev set, the Totenkopf, the 3rd SS, and notoriously Nazi division because they're Waffen-SS, but even more so, really horrible people. These guys were recruited from, concentration camp guards, which is, pretty horrible people to begin with. These bastards deserve to die. And we have the Soviets, who's gonna be fighting with Sappers here. I don't think the Sappers are gonna do well, but the Storm Grenadiers are not in cover. So I think the Sappers might have this one out. And now they also have conscript support. So these Storm Grenadiers is going to have to get back to heavy cover in some way. You also have some more Volksturm coming out. Top secure territory for the Waffen-SS. Not sure if the Volksturm actually saw any service doing winter situations, but do let me know if they did. I'm not that knowledgeable on around the time of the fall of the Reich, when the Volksturm were actually employed. Soviets are pushing up here, Frontoviki on the field. These are actually trained Soviet troops, unlike the conscripts. These guys have about equivalent, or at least nearly equivalent training to the basic soldiers of the other countries. Oh, it's not looking good here for the Germans. Those Storm Grenadiers are taking losses. But the conscripts are taking losses. Kubelbank with an MG42. This one seems to be very popular for propaganda players. Tank Hunter coming out. Oh, Sappers are dead to a rifle grenade. That's a costly loss. But we have Tank Hunters coming out for the Soviets. I'm with the PTRS. I believe it's a PTRS, yes. This is a semi-automatic anti-tank rifle, which gives us a fairly high rate of fire. And it's very good against light vehicles. Like, if it hits the Kubelwagen, I think the Kubelwagen is basically taken out instantly. Because the bullet is just that big. Oh, it's immobilized it and killed the gunner. Yeah, that's pretty deadly. And there it goes. And that's the worth of having tank hunters early. They can deal with any German light vehicles. That's why anti-tank rifles are actually should not be underestimated, in all honesty. Soviets are reinforcing their troops. They probably need to get a replacement sapper at some point. He's going to go for a Maxim first. Never a bad idea. Volksturm are huddling up here alongside the train rails. Suppose their mission is to try and hold this position here. Looks like the train stopped here because there was an explosion on the rails. Volksturm are trying to flank around, but the conscripts have spotted them. I think the conscripts should win this fight because the Volksturm are not the best of combat infantry. They are pretty competent and they're cheap, but they should not be expected to win in the frontal engagements all the time. That's a good throw, though. That's probably a veteran from the First World War who threw that. But against conscripts and the tank hunters, who are very accurate, yeah, I think that's a dead Volksturm squad. Yep, there they go. So the Soviets are going to just dig in along the front line here briefly, or at least try and secure it. Then they'll probably work to take up and get a replacement sapper. That's just what I imagine.
Political officer deploying now, comrade.
Oh, we have a commander already. He went for tank. Okay, so we got like a mirror of the last one. I guess these are some of the very most, popular commanders. Although I believe Shock is more popular for the Soviets at the moment, because Shock is very good at practically everything. Oh good, the Frontoviki are holding the front line, and then the conscripts will flank. You know, that is a very smart move here. Rushing up behind the hay bale, and then they get flanking shots. And a Molotov. I think that's a dead Storm Pioneer. MG08 for the Volksturm coming up here. The old World War I machine gun. Being set up out in the open. Ooh, this could be risky. They did force the Soviets to pull back. Maxim has not moved into a position yet. But conscripts are trying to rush up on it. But they might be too late. Yeah, that MG08 is gonna start opening fire. Molotov did get thrown though. Which is at least gonna burn the crew for a bit. These old men and young boys are not gonna be able to do much against the might of the Soviet Union when it gets going. Replacement sappers being called in. Maxim being finally ordered to move around. Oh, my voice is all over the place today. I apologize.
Combat engineers are standing by.
Sappers on the field for the Soviets. Germans are not doing much, but they are taking up now. Volksturm are pushing up here to the fields. The Waffen-SS do control both munitions points, so they should get more upgrades over time, at least for the troops. The Volksturm can be armed with a wide variety of utilities, actually, but they need to be veteran to get them. Which is not the easiest to achieve with such a poor quality squad. Looks like they are slowly sandbagging up. Always a good move to do when you're on the defensive. Or just trying to be cautious. More Storm Grenadiers are coming in. Guess he wants some more elite infantry. To take the fight to the Reds.
Command has been set. The static post is now in operation.
And he now has the field headquarters up. Which means you could get an Untersturmführer, which is a Waffen-SS NCO. A non-commissioned officer, basically.
We have a DP conscript here.
And the Volksturm are going to have to hold here, but the Soviets are pushing upwards. Using the DPM.
The enemy has taken our supply.
But the Volksturm have a very good position here with the truck. And while they're trying to flank up here with the Storm Grenadiers against the tank hunters. Tank hunters are very accurate though with their PTRS. Yeah, Volksturm cannot hold that front line for much longer. But I don't think these tank hunters can hold for much longer either against these Storm Grenadiers. Yeah, he's gonna pull back.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Two Volksturm are still holding this truck. But I think these conscripts might overrun them. Throwing a steel Hangardade. MG08 setting up though. And the Untersturmführer has arrived with his bodyguards. Artillery being called in on the MG08. The Soviets have lost an open field here though. Oh, the MG08 has got cleared up by a mortar shell. Brutal. Good job with the officer. Oh, Thompsons have been armed on the Sappers. But I think against double LMG 42 that's not going to work out. The Storm Grenadiers are very accurate and very well trained, but they're also very costly. I don't suspect these guys will last for much longer. They probably have to pull out of there. Soviets are getting assist free. A Soviet field gun, which can be utilized in a plethora of roles, both as an anti-tank weapon, but also as an artillery piece. We got some guards coming in, the second guards. Very versatile infantry that can be armed to deal with most frontline situations, actually. They should probably not be used for assault that often, but they can do it. They're probably one of the more versatile base infantry units you can get as the Soviets. And the fact that tank gets them is really handy. The SIS has arrived. Germans are not getting a lot currently. They're probably trying to replenish. Maxim is opening fire on the Storm Grenadiers here, pinning them. Oh, those Volksturm are going to be in trouble. That's a lot of Soviets. Yeah, that's a dead Volksturm. Here comes the guards. They can be armed with a variety of weapons, but many people tend to go for the double DPM, making them an amazing support infantry, or cover protector, essentially defensive infantry. Outflow on the fields. Oh, and the Germans are in a bad spot here. They might have to pull out behind the forward HQ. Outflow is dead.
Forward elements report and infantry units.
Volksturm and Unteroffizier on the flank though. Untersturmführer. It looks like the Germans are doing okay here. So I'm moving to retake their fuel though. Sending the guards to do it. Officer calling on artillery in this area. I don't know if that'll do much. The officer probably has to pull back. Yeah, drop of fuel coming in, and the ability the Soviet tank commander gets. Yeah, the German forward base is not in the best position, but we have veterans being called in. This has veterans. These guys are an amazing elite squad. You only get access to one of at a time. They are very veteran and they can be equipped for all kinds of roles, but I think he wants them to be anti-infantry. Yeah, he's giving them scope, STGs, oh, and a Panzerschreck actually. So he wants them to be dual purpose. They can deal with vehicles as well. The guys are costly though, so he should probably not move them out through the open. Oh! Storm Grenadier gets burned to a crisp with the Molotov. And these guys will tear away most infantry that faces them frontally like this. But he went for a Panzerschreck, which will limit their anti-infantry capability. But they're dealing with the Maxim. They might be able to win out that engagement, but I'm not sure. The Maxim is a heavy machine gun after all. Oh, they are scoping at it with the scope STGs. Oh, it's very close here. But I think they will beat out the Maxim. Looks like these guys are exceptionally accurate. Now the tank hunters. There they go, they got him. These guys should never be underestimated. They're also veteran C5 now. Both sides have lost a lot of troops already. Okay. Volksturm and Sturm Grenadiers pushing forwards. They probably want to try and get up here. Guards opening fire from the church, but it's only one window. We do have a DP now though. And the DP will start to tear them apart.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
We're gonna fall Brandflasche.
Heavy machine gun team ready.
The DP has caused a lot of issues for them though. But that it might be a very dead squad. Yeah, they just waiting to get sight on him. The church is blocking the line of sight. Oh, but there he goes. He got spotted by the Storm Grenadier.
We shall fight as never before, Commander. The enemy is
They're being flanked though by the conscripts who picked up a DPM. I think this guard might have to get out of there. Yeah, this guard is actually going to survive, I think. He has quite a story to tell to his new squad when he gets back. Very impressive. Another guard unit being called in though. These are the 75th, these are assault infantry. And they can be equipped for it. Very good infantry for just dealing with enemy infantry in close quarters. But unfortunately I don't think there's that many close quarters areas here. It's a very open map. He just take up straight for the heavy building though. He might be going for an early T-3485. Which could work out. But we've seen no vehicles from the propaganda commander. And he is the assault infantry. They can be armed with a lot of interesting equipment. MTO-8 setting up. Yeah, the problem with the propaganda commander is it's not really the most utilized for vehicle combat. It's generally meant to be morale-based and essentially infantry and desperate defense, which is kind of the whole theme of it. But I think late game, if the Soviet tanks start rolling out, he's gonna have trouble. Well, we'll need to see though. Oh, the veterans are targeting the guards here. I'm pretty sure the veterans will tear them apart over this range. They already started to get a lot of kills with their Sturmgewehr. That's just tearing them so much. Oh god. Who knew that scoped Sturmgewehrs were so effective in the hands of a very veteran squad? That's too bad we cannot see the veterancy bonuses. But these guys do get huge amounts of them. Soviets are securing the other flank here though. There's just a lack of German infantry in the field, which is generally a common theme. Oh, we have a T-3045 Ace! An Ace T-3045 crew that can deal with most enemy vehicles with ease, but there's not really any enemy vehicles. And he needs to stay at range, because many of these German infantry have anti-tank equipment. Sturmgrenadiers out in the open here, not gonna fare well. They may be very elite and well trained, but out in the open they're just sitting ducks and are just easy targets. Oh, the officer got killed. Oh, and yeah, that's a dead Sturmgrenadier. Ooh, all Sturmgrenadiers have been killed. There's only these veterans. Yeah, this TPM armed conscript squad is doing a lot of work. The Soviet needs to figure out what to do. The German is just going for more anti-tank equipment. Like a Pack 40 is rolling up.
Guard squad ready. LMG team ready.
MG08 sitting up here alongside some more Volkssturm. Just like the good old days in the trenches, eh? That's horrible. Another Pack 40 has arrived, so it's moving out in force here. Double guards and double conscripts. And the Ace moving too. Probably aiming to take these positions. There's very little resistance to stop him. Oh, we have a Hauptsturmführer, I think this is? Yes. This is like a medium-ranked SS officer. Much higher ranked inside the Waffen-SS military structure, and probably a decently high-ranked member of the Nazi party as well. Well, here comes the Ace on the flank, but there is the veterans with a Panzerschreck. Oh, but the guy got slowed down. The Ace is very accurate with his machine gun. And the veterans are dead! Oh god, that is a really big blow. That is a very costly squad to get back. And the guards are just opening fire with the DPMs. Or DPM alongside the conscripts. They ran to the base flag though. Oh, it might be driving too close. It's gotta get ready to Panzerfausts. He threw a grenade outside the hatch, but it's not gonna be enough yet. Oh, and the river broke. That is the danger of driving over a river during winter. The ice can break. Oh, and losing an Ace like that too, that's very costly. But these DPM armed guards is doing an amazing job getting a lot of kills. These sappers are not in a good position, they're out in the open. They're just becoming very easy targets. These Sturmgrenadiers. Says Free is opening fire as an artillery piece. Oh, and the building is down. That's gonna hurt. Ooh, what's that Mthis gonna do in this situation, I wonder?
Threat neutralized. I can't move my legs.
Oh, and this guy tried to crawl to safety. These two guys are... I don't think the SS takes prisoners.
Men ready.
Not sure what the aim of this officer is.
Send orders.
He's a dead officer, that's what he is.
We've lost a
Did lure a
squad of
conscript out,
infantry.
but losing a conscript for an officer is not that good of a trade. We have another guard squad arriving though, and we have what I believe is a crowd mower. Yes, the crowd mower is coming out, but there's a lot of Pack 40s on the field. Looks like the Storm Grenadiers have been armed with a scoped rifle alongside the LMG, putting some suppressive fire or targeted fire on the guards.
Ready for orders.
More. Looks like we have more veterans arriving, this time armed with an LMG-42 as well, for even more anti-infantry capabilities. And that's a dead guard, obviously. These veterans are rushing upwards. And they're going to try and get behind cover here quickly. Guards are rushing them though, and these are the guards specialized for assaulting.
Our headquarters is taking enemy fire.
But these guys, oh, these veterans are just mowing them down. One grenade though, and they did not move. Oh,
Grenadier are
didn't kill anyone though. So has lost a lot of units very rapidly. Double more conscripts being called in. Bravo, moving up, but there's a pack. I think that's a dead crowd mower. He might need to bombard that area. And he's... Oh, he's loading. Is he? Yeah, he's loading it. There we go. Oh, good shot too! Very good shot. He should probably have done that earlier, but he did not know what he was facing.
Soldiers ready. AT gun here.
And the Soviets need to consider getting something else. More Fontoviki being called in. MTO-8 is still present though.
Parachutes. What do you need? Coming. This is not how I want it.
Artillery being called in on the conscript, but the guard is still flanking around. But the Untersturmführer is just using his MP40. That's not looking that too good for the Soviets here. It seems propaganda tactics is really good in 1v1s, and that is a Goliath. That is a remote-controlled high-explosive mine on tracks. An exceptionally interesting little German weapon. Not something I think many people have seen before. Essentially a remote-controlled bomb that can drive. Very dangerous concept. Also, very few basic infantry weapons can penetrate it, so you can literally drive it up on normal infantry, and they'll have to run. Because there's nothing they can do to stop it. It's also a small target, so it's not easy to hit. Explosive shot coming in, and oh, very accurate one of that! That's a dead Sturm Grenadier. Now the Volksturm are pushing up. Yeah, he's pulling the assist back. Kinda has to in this situation. So the Volksturm tried to grenade it, but it's already moved it at that point. Conscripts present in the field, Fontoviki present. Triple Volksturm. Both sides have lost a lot of units here, but I think the Soviets have the ability to recover easier. It's gonna be hard to see because this Mthis has a lot of resources, just not enough manpower. Uh-oh, and that is Goliath. Oh no, oh no, 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 that's bad. That's real bad. Although the base defenders has a Dushka. which is a 50 caliber weapon, which should be able to penetrate it. As you can see, right there. Crew has been killed though on the SIS-3. And the Volksturm and veteran and the 3rd SS veterans are pushing up. Well, what are the Soviets gonna do in this situation? They've almost been pinned into the base already. They're throwing a grenade over the hedge.
Our command post is under assault.
And the SS veteran digging in. Another Ace T-34 has arrived. Oh, the veterans are taking a lot of losses. That's a Molotov on them. Oh, that's a dead veteran squad again. Ooh, the 3rd SS is losing a lot of veterans here. Artillery going into the Soviet base.
The enemy is attacking our HQ.
Stuka being called in here to deny the ground for the Soviets. But I think that might be a waste because the Soviets can just re-grab it. Yeah, the Soviets need to move out immediately, but more German weapons are being called in rapidly to try and replace the losses. That's a lot of Volksturm. He is trying to take up though for the final tier, which he needs to do. He's also getting a Panzerjäger. Waffen-SS, or just basically a German anti-tank squad, much like the early anti-tank squad we saw, just they should be armed with a Panzerschreck instead of an AT rifle. Making them somewhat better equipped, but also more expensive and less good against infantry. I do love their white uniforms though, very fitting for winter.
Anti-tank battery is ready for deployment.
Russians are immediately taking territory as they should. They need to. More guards coming in. Looks like it's the assault variety. Volksturm is pushing up. They might want to overrun the T-34 here. But the MGs on the T-34 crew is just too good. It is an ace crew after all. These are heroes of the Soviet Union. They know what to do. They've fought these Germans for a very long time. And they've survived through grit and experience. Untersturmführer in the open, not good for an officer. Guards flanking northwards here. There's nothing really to stop them. Except this pack that's trying to hide. But they're getting spotted now. Fontoviki present as well. It's such a comeback. He was definitely right about that in the description. MG08 over here. Putting down the conscripts as they try to get up on the river.
Crew taking fire! Enemy movement! On the flank!
Guards spot the crew and they're killing them.
We lost a gun crew.
85 aces moving rapidly. There's very little here to stop it. Artillery being called in.
Squad on the field.
Panzerjägers are still back in the base. Not being deployed. New Soviet lieutenant has arrived, or lieutenant. And the ace has very long range with its gun.
A squad of infantry has been killed. Death before retreat. Enemy troops engaging us.
Oh, Panzerjägers are moving up though with their Panzerschrecks. Might get a side shot here. Ah, but it just got out of range. Panzer 4J being called in. But I think the Panzer 4J will not do much against an ace. Especially on the T-34. T-45. Stuka coming in here. Artillery being called in by the Soviet Union.
Combat unit ready.
This 85 is just wreaking havoc on the front line here. They're staying at the periphery of the range of the Panzerschreck and shooting them with the gun and the MG.
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
But they are in a good position here with the crater, I think. It's very hard to hit them from this angle. Oh, but the gun can kill them. It's just kicking out a lot of snow. Panzer IV J here, alongside another veteran squad.
What are your orders?
Oh, they did destruction. J is trying to flank. Oh, did not penetrate. Oh, neither side is having a very good luck here at aiming. It's immobilized. But it got the J in return. That's not good for that ace. It's an easy target now. And the veterans are about to get a Panzerschreck. But they might just use a Panzer first. It's still not taken care of though. They throw a grenade at the hatch, but it's not going to be enough, I think. So it's doing everything to try and stop to not lose that 85 ace. Oh, they got the gun on it! And there it goes. Another costly loss for the Soviet Union right there. But the Soviet guards have secured the northern front now. And they're sweeping around. I don't think there's enough German infantry in the field to contest it. Another Volkssturm is being called for, and another Sturmgrenadier. A normal T-45 ace is being prepared. This battle is going very back and forth with a lot of movement. Nice to see. The Soviets can just cover more of the field because they get a lot more infantry to work with.
We are awaiting orders. Combat unit ready.
Squad, shut it.
Veteran squad here has to be really careful the way they move.
Waiting.
Against conscripts stow at range, they should have no problem. There is a guard waiting back here.
Do not bow to this order.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Out in the open though, their veterancy does not matter much.
Grenadier are on the line.
Because they're easy to hit, but they're still mowing down the conscripts. But if they get around here though, the guards start opening fire. Like so.
Supply sector under attack.
He dodged it though. But they're still out in the open and being shot at by the guards down here. Great assault though. Oh, Brandflasche. Very nice to see. They've all been pinned.
We are losing territory.
Now, guards got mowed down though.
Infantry have made the ultimate sacrifice.
This unit is just so good, but you can only get one of them at a time, as I've said. Ostwind.
Standing by.
A somewhat dubious choice. It's essentially an anti-air position stationed on the Panzer IV chassis. There's actually not that many of these things made, so seeing them this regularly is very unusual. That said, I don't think it's going to do much against Soviet tanks. Against the infantry, perhaps. If it could hit them. Which is what that seems to be doing. But if it gets shot by a T-45, it's dead. Oh, almost! Yeah, it's not even going to try and get out of that. But 85 starts shooting! Well, 85 has to be careful though, the veterans are present.
Panzer lost.
Sturmgrenadiers out in the open. Not the best position for them, but they're trying. Not 85 down.
The enemy has destroyed one of our vehicles.
Not 85 coming out though.
T-34 ready for combat.
I personally think with what he's dealing with, Eugen should probably get a new Sapper. In my own personal opinion, he should probably down tech to tier 3 and get normal T-34s instead of the 85s. All the 85s are a cool idea. He's not really facing a lot of enemy tanks. So I think getting something more infantry support focused, like he could probably get Stuttgarts, SU-76s. They can be armed entirely with high explosive shields, which makes them excellent for dealing with infantry. We do see another Panzer IV J though coming for the Germans, so the 5 could be a good choice because he'll deal with tanks. It'll allow him to maintain tank superiority.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Veterans are securing their church grounds. Pack is present though, so this tank has to be careful. Loading high explosive shell. Oh, right at the Volksturm, killing them. Loader shell penetrated. Back 40 should not be underestimated.
Guards troops ready for action.
Artillery being called in by the lieutenant. Another Panzer IV J here in the field. Guards moving northwards.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
And Saba's now arriving. It's probably to repair the tank because there's actually nothing to repair it with.
Engineers ready for assignment.
Oh, those veterans have to be careful.
We are receiving new orders. Volksgrenadier ready for action.
Oh, those Sturmgewehren are just mowing them down. Oh, that might be a dead veteran. Another of the veteran squad is gone. Ooh, it's not looking too good for the Germans. That's a lot of expensive squads he keeps having to replace. It's not like veterans just grow on trees. Conscripts are not doing too well here either. They are in a bad position generally. Oh, Jay is going for the 85, but the 85 got one shot off and essentially killed the drive, and it got the tank running wild while the ammo cooked off. High explosive shell being loaded. Oh, and that's it. Storm grenade here too. The 85 is perhaps a good choice. I'll eat my words. 85 is doing amazingly. I guess the high explosive 85mm shot is just a good dealing with infantry. And the Germans are running out of men. Another veteran has been called in. The 3rd SS is expending a lot of its most veteran troops on this battle. Probably not a good thing. Being armed by infantry duty by the looks of it. A bit silent now. Soviets have kind of gotten the upper hand though. Really turning the battle around in their favor by just pure resilience. Resilience and perseverance against the Waffen-SS. That's the only thing you can do against the Waffen-SS. The Waffen-SS is not good at losing stuff. It's very costly for them to generally replace things. Veterans going for the guards up here. The guards will not be able to do anything. These guys are just so good at killing them. '85 moving northwards though. But it's gonna get in Panzerfaust ranges. Conscripts are here to support it though. 185 is being repaired. But here's the veterans though. Using the hill here as a good spot. Another Panzer IV-J coming out. Can't really blame him because I think it's the heaviest tank you actually get if you're playing as propaganda. You don't really get a lot of good tanks later on. For double Js though, 2 Js might be able to work.
What do you need?
Oh yeah, propaganda tactics kinda loses its momentum in the late game, which kinda fits the whole desperate defense theme they have going. While tank just gets more powerful the later in the game you get with its access to better stuff. NG42 opening fire in the flank. 85 is operational again. Putting high explosion on the officer, I think. Yeah, that's that Untersturmführer. Not looking good for the Waffen SS here. The Soviets are making quite the push through. And again, these veterans on the hill here is just mowing on everything. Oh, the 85 is flanking for the base. But it's getting itself into a vulnerable position because of it. Put down one truck though. Oh, it's not looking good. I think the Soviets might have broken the Waffen SS here. Mthis is taking way too many losses. And 85, another 85 base has arrived. Using high explosive on the Sturmbannführer, I think, or Hauptsturmführer, I think. Yeah, another officer dead. And this tank is glitched because it's inside the wreck of another tank. That's not good. Oh, the 85s are missing though. That's a full missed, however, too. And there it goes. That's very able to stop the 85s at this point. SS Panzer, Mthis Panzerjäger though is present. But they don't have the munitions to fire. Oh, the flag is just driving. Oh, the tank is just driving through. Oh, this is not good at all for the SS. If the SS and Germans don't have munitions, they kind of run out of steam to deal with things. Another 85 is coming out too. I think we're basically seeing the end here. Now they're taking out one more 85, but how can they deal with the ace? They have nothing to do with it. He's just driving around, even driving over a Volksturm. Oh god. And the Germans just lack the munitions to do anything. He's throwing another grenade out of the hatch. He should probably have been manning the AT guns. Another grenade.
Command vehicle has been dispatched.
Oh, this is just over at this point. We're just waiting for Professor here to throw in the towel and realize it's hopeless.
Under attack.
But he might just be destroyed before that happens. Oh, he definitely will.
The enemy has killed another
Although Professor did do a lot of good job with his veterans for most of the battle, but the losses started mounting up. And it seems the Soviets have won the day, breaking through the Hitlerite line. I'll see you all next time, everyone. Bye bye.